Okay, Mrs. Landry, we'll just start off with a mic check. If you can say and spell your first and last name for me, please.
Okay. Jennifer, Jennifer, Landry, Landry.
Okay, and what do you do for a living?
I am an herbalist, but I am chapter lead of Family and Friends of Louisiana's Incarcerated Children here in Lafayette.
Okay, and how did you get involved with this organization?
We've been involved with the organization for 5 years when we lived in Lake Charles, and I actually got involved because my husband, he was introduced to it by a fellow member, and that's how I came to join.
Okay, and what makes you so passionate about, advocating for youth and their families and, hopefully coming up with solutions to prevent them from being incarcerated?
Yes, exactly. Well, I love children. I love children, and I believe that children should not be locked up behind bars, especially for petty things. Can we do this? Can we pause?
No problem. I stopped recording.
You nervous?
Okay.
That's
No,
okay.
no, no, no. I did. Hold up.
It's
Okay.
okay.
I choked up. Okay.
You're gonna edit that, baby.
Yeah, I only take out like 10-second
Okay,
stops of what
perfect.
you say, so
Okay.
don't worry.
All right.
I don't
Okay.
embarrass people
No.
or do anything like that.
Okay.
So, what makes you become so passionate about advocating for incarcerated youth?
Because I believe that children shouldn't be caged up behind bars unnecessarily. I shouldn't have said that either. I shouldn't have said that either.
No, that's the truth. So, when you say
Well-
unnecessarily, you speak of petty crimes.
Well, no. Let's just take that part completely out because we as Flick, and again, I'm nervous. We believe that kids should not be caged up. Period. That's what we believe in. Period. Because there are different avenues. Children should the community and the world should teach kids different resources. There should be things that. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm sorry. I know you're
It's okay.
doing that.
Well, I saw on your website you have an agenda today, therapeutic community.
That's
What do you mean by that?
Different well, Pascal actually is coming out and do that, so I'm not too familiar with what she's talking about, so that's somebody totally different. But as far as me, I believe that there should be counseling. There should be different kind of rehabilitation. Teach children the way of the world rather than throwing them away. I lost a daughter. My daughter was 17-year-old when she was murdered. Okay, thank you. She was murdered at 17 years old. So the person that killed her had a gun. You know what I'm saying? And even though it's my daughter and I love my daughter with everything I have, the guy that hurt her, he was a child as well. He was a child. They were in a relationship, but he was still young. So instead of me harboring resentful and resentment and being angry, which I was in the beginning, so don't get me wrong, I was very angry, but now I realize that he was still a kid. So he needs to be rehabilitated. You know what I'm saying? Taught. He didn't have the right teachings. He wasn't taught. He was living in the streets. He didn't have the parental, care that he should have had. So, that's just my opinion. I'm sorry.
No worries. If you don't mind me asking, when did the incident regarding your daughter, when did she pass away?
2016.
And she was 17 years old?
She
And
was
how
17.
old was the gentleman who...
He was 18. He had just turned 18 years old. They were in a relationship. She had a little girl at the time. She was pregnant when she was killed. I'm gonna say that. She was pregnant, so she was carrying a little girl, but she also had a little girl, which she lives with us now. But yeah, she was 17 years old. Mm-hmm.
And where is that gentleman at this time?
He's in prison somewhere. I'm not sure. I think it might be Angola. He might be in Angola. Yeah. She
And
might be
you're
my daughter.
wearing a T-shirt right now that says "No kids in Angola." Angola is known as one of the toughest, roughest prisons in the country. Tell
Yes.
me, why are you wearing that shirt?
I'm wearing that shirt because the governor is sending some kids from Bridge City, which is a youth prison, and he's sending some of the kids from there to Angola. And I and the organization don't believe that kids should be placed in Angola, because what they're trying to do is take our youth from a youth facility and put them behind the big brick walls of Angola and house them with what used to be a death row camp. I mean, they house death row inmates there. And that is going to really mess up their mental. You know, having a young child brought to a big prison where there's murderers and killers, and murders and killers are the same thing, but murderers and people that do these big crimes. I'm not with that. They say, oh, the kids are gonna be so far away from the big inmates that they won't see them. I don't believe it. I have to be honest. I don't believe that. And again, they're being housed where death row inmates were housed. So how do you think that is going to affect them? Terribly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you don't mind, I'm just gonna, if you can take